Hello everybody, my name is Cara and my channel is Wild Book Garden. Very excited to be featured again on Literary Gladiators, and for my 2023 content I am doing something a little different. So for all my videos in this year, I'm going to be doing 3 rapid fire recommendations that are all in a specific category of books. This might be a specific genre and age range combination, it might just be the same genre or the same age range, or it might be something else like that. And I thought since this one is going up in middle grade March, I would focus on middle grade, and these are all going to be middle grade fantasy books, and specifically this kind of series that I'm doing, they're all going to be underhyped books. And I'm kind of just going by not just what I've heard people talk about or not talk about, but also the number of ratings on Goodreads. So first I wanted to start off with the Magical Venice series by Holly Webb. These can be a little harder to find in the US because she's a UK author, but if you are able to get a hold of these, I would really recommend them. They're all set in a fantasy version of Italy, and they're all companion books, so you're following a different main character, and I feel like the tone of this is really interesting because you are following these young kids and they feel very believable as children, like as younger characters, and I feel like maybe some readers would think that the writing maybe felt too young, but to me it doesn't. It doesn't feel poorly written, or it doesn't feel overly simplistic. It just feels like Holly Webb is not trying to, like, she's truly writing for kids, and if adults can enjoy them, that's great, but she's not going to change the story she's telling just to appeal to adult readers, and I really like that. I appreciate that, and again, having a character that feels believably young does not mean that the book is poorly written. I think sometimes that assumption gets made, and I really love these characters, and I really love the setting, and I also think it's interesting because these books don't feel overly sad, but they deal with some pretty heavy things like grief. And I mean, in the second book, our main character starts the book realizing that her mother probably never loved her, and our main character in the first book, like, her story opens where she's realizing that she's been mind controlled for basically all of her childhood by somebody that she trusted. So there are these pretty dark elements in the stories, but I think the way they're handled is really appropriate for the age group, but it's also still interesting for adults. So I personally have really enjoyed these. I do think the ending can sometimes wrap up a little too quickly, but overall I really have been loving the series and this author, so I would recommend these. And then also the Sisters Ever After series by Leah Cypess. The first book isn't quite as underhyped. It does have 358 ratings, but the second book, which is the most recent one, only has 125. The third one is actually coming out in early April, so this is just going to be a trilogy, and they all follow the younger sisters of, like, famous fairy tale characters. So the first one is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. It's called Thornwood, and it kind of imagines what if Sleeping Beauty had a younger sister. Glass Slippers imagines if there were a third wicked stepsister in Cinderella, but maybe she's not so wicked after all. And then The Piper's Promise is, like, hasn't been released yet, but I'm excited to read that one, and that is a Pied Piper retelling. This is another one where I love the characterization. I really like the way that Leah Cypess interprets these fairy tales. Not everybody likes the things that she does with them, but I think it's really creative and clever, and as somebody who reads a lot of fairy tale retellings, I think it's kind of exciting that she does things with them that I don't think I've ever seen done before. And I feel like she's really good at the complicated sibling dynamics. I've just been really loving this series. And then the last book I want to mention is a standalone. That is Eden's Everdark by Karen Strong. This one is a kind of spooky middle grade, and it deals a lot with grief. Our main character Eden is dealing with the loss of her mother, and she's obviously taking it very hard. Her and her father both are, and for the first time they end up going to the island where Eden's mother grew up, and Eden meets her extended family for the first time, and it's a really wonderful healing experience for her. Like, she's obviously still struggling, but she starts to feel at home with these people, and then something happens where Eden gets trapped in kind of this parallel world. Makes it sound, I think, bigger than it is, but she basically crosses over into this, like, other version of the island, where there's a witch there who wants to keep Eden there forever. And I just think the way this book deals with grief is so thoughtful and so well done and so compassionate. I really love stories that address grief with kind of speculative elements like this. I loved and felt for Eden so much as a character, and I loved the way her bond with her mother was communicated so well. I loved the family relationships. I thought the setting was very interesting. This book also talks about trauma a little bit and kind of like the history and like past hurts and past wrongs, and I think the way it blended that with other kinds of grief was so smart and so well done. So I would really, really recommend this one, and this is my third pick. So please comment down below, let me know if you have read any of these or if you want to. As I said, these are all pretty underhyped middle grade fantasies. Eden's Everdark is kind of a contemporary fantasy, but I think all of these books deserve more love, and I hope you check them out if they sound at all interesting to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!